Good morning. Here we go again. A bit tired today. So, day 3. By the end of 5 weeks. Hi, welcome. Are you up for the challenge? Are you working through it? It's 10 a.m. I've been teaching online since 7:30 a.m. with a student who has, can you have mild focal dystonia? You can have fully blown focal dystonia, so I guess you can have small, mild, just little snippets of it. Not always there, sometimes there. Fascinating stuff. Slowly working through, finding trigger points of what triggers the condition. And I won't get into all of it now about causes. I'm learning a heap. But it's fascinating to watch what can go on. And that's what we're doing here with the harmonic slur challenge, is to find triggers in a way to go, what can I do? What can I kind of do? What can't I do? The whole essence of the entire course. And there's more and more people coming in, joining now. Make sure you've done your Largo status stage. It's really important. What we're doing here is actually quite advanced. And if the foundation isn't pure, then there are going to be issues and a lot of manipulation creep in when we start working through the chart. So please make sure you've done the Largo stage. Now I'm going to make some changes to the page here. We're streaming. This is good. We're looking for the time limit, the 1 beat time limit. What's the fastest you can do your tempo, whether it's quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths? What's the fastest you can do? I'll just move that a little bit. Here we go. What's the fastest you can do 1 beat, but you can't do 2? What's the fastest that you can't? What can't you do? What beat can't you do? Now I'm at 16th, so sadly it doesn't go beyond 208. I've experimented going back with 104 and doing 8 notes per beat. It's getting a bit crazy. But here you can see I can do 4 beats, but I can't do 8 at 208. So in a way, my trigger point, even though it's not really, well, it is triggering something. It's triggering not being in control. I'm in control at 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, but I'm not in control at 8 beats. Yet logic says if you can do 8 beats, if you can do 4 beats, you can do 8. Why is this important? Because it shows the subconscious programming of the motor skills, and we want our motor skills to be as efficient as possible. We're working on alignment of our aperture and the optimum amount of flow. And once we've developed that skill of changing shape without engaging in the body, that opens up flexibility, which then opens up efficiency, so your endurance is better, and it feeds through, so you'll have range improvements, quality of sound. Someone mentioned on one of the videos via YouTube, because I'm streaming here at Facebook Live. It's also going through the page at the website, and I'm also uploading them to Facebook. And one of the things was, you sound like you're getting fatigued towards the end of the videos. I'm not fatigued remotely. What happens is, by the end, I'm using so little air pressure to get the harmonic slurs to happen I'm aiming for the minute. And I did a few for the minute in the first week. As yet, we're day 3 and I haven't cut the minute yet. So I'm going to do a bit of an experimentation today. But the person posting said, "Oh, it sounds like you're getting tired." Now, there's no tired about it, and I could make it sound nice, but not when you're pulling off the amount of air pressure, pulling it away, and letting the lip respond to the most tiniest amount of flow. So the sound's going to be scratchy when you're playing back at that volume. So today I just want to do something I haven't done for the course yet, but I'm finding it intriguing that I'm struggling over the last couple of days to get to the 55 and to the minute doing the harmonic slur. So logic would suggest play a long tone first and see if it's a lung thing or whether it's just because I've never tried doing this before, doing this challenge. It's as much a challenge for me as what it is for you guys watching. And while I'm on that, videos. Dropbox, I said yesterday, go to dropbox.com, set up a free account, put your videos in there, and then just share to info@mysterytomastery.com, and I'll get them. Rightio, so I'm going to just do a couple of breathing warm-ups and see if I can get a long tone on the E, concert D. In fact, I should try it on the trombone as well. I haven't done that either. See how long I can just hold the long tone for, because I'm pretty sure I can get the minute. Not easily, but I can comfortably. So if you've never experienced doing any of this breathing stuff with the bags and spirometers and stuff, just try it. It was recommended to me, and I loved it, and it helped, and that's why I share it. Especially the Voldine. I need to do some more work on this because, again, when I used to use it almost 20 years ago, I would peak out at 5,000, so 5 litres. I haven't done it yet, so but I can guarantee if I did some more work on it, we'd get it there. So, at one day, in the next, well, we've only got 3.5 weeks to go. That's scary. Time's flying. Hopefully I'll be able to get to topping that out. I think even if I did a couple more, I'd get there. Generally, the first in a day, I don't peak it and then it gets there. However, I must keep in mind, turns out over 20 years, I'm not as young as I used to be. And as we get older, lung capacity diminishes. And that's why this is so important. It's why a lot of older people are really embracing it, is because they've got to work more efficiently and use everything that they've got. All right, so I'll just see what happens here. On an E, long tone, see how long I can go for. Okay, so a minute 5. That says everything. So a minute 5, and yesterday I couldn't get 50 seconds on some stuff. So obviously the activation of the musculature doing the harmonic slur makes us put a little bit more activation into the system. So maybe it's using up oxygen. Muscles do that. I don't know. Just putting it out there. But I mean, you can hear a couple of times it's like I'm squeezing the last bit of air out of my lungs when I do that. And I said that I was teaching at 7:30. I played one note for the entire lesson, and I taught for about 2 hours. And that was to demonstrate just the feeling of humming, feeling of playing. That was it. So to pick up the horn and play a long tone for a minute with a pure sound as softly as you can, good luck. Yeah, some people can do it. I can't. It takes a while to get some blood circulating and whatever. But again, I'm mentioning that because of the other video. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the comments in the other video. And it's not fatigue. I'm not fatigued. It's just, it's a focus thing. It's a preparation thing. And practicing really, really, really soft long tones is a good thing to do for focus. And for breath control. And for taking any pressure off the oscillator, because if there's too much pressure, the lip tightens, backs up in the throat. All these things I keep mentioning because it's really important. So for me, that's really interesting to know that I can push through the minute mark. So when I get onto the harmonic slur challenge and I'm running out at 50-55, and which I won't do, go back to chart 1, but I know for a fact that there are only 2 days where I got to 60 on 2 different tempos. So I'm going to start at 1. Oh, hang on, let's start right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I'll start at 144. And you'll notice here, if you're checking in for the first time in a couple of days, I've done my chart. I haven't done the whole chart. I don't want you spending hours with this and getting bored. It's not about that. The first day of the week, fill out your chart. Now, over here, I'm cool with that. Technique-wise, there's no drama there. There's no added benefit me spending all this time on the entire chart, where you'll see for those sort of 5, 6 tempos there, I'm at the same, and then there's a drop-off. So here's the breathing limit, right? The duration breath control limit. Then from here, it's clearly not breath control that's the issue. It's the alignment, the facility of the face gets a bit confused when we start getting, so that's 126. I start to go, hang on, it's not breath that's the issue, it's just maintaining the harmonic slur at that tempo. And then the faster it gets, the harder it gets. Once people realize this, it's a hard sell, but it's really logical. Get your friends on board, share it with them, get them to do it, please. Once people understand the power of it, it will be the norm and go, I can't believe I never used to monitor my harmonic slurs or my tonguing, which is the next challenge. I can't believe I haven't done that before. It's just logical. It's a very smart way, focused, concise way to practice. So just try it. 144. And again, if you're new here, you've got your metronome on the page. So you go down and start the metronome. But I have to use my metronome here because you're hearing it straight away, but by the time it goes through my system, I've got a screen up there and I hear it. It's delayed, so it sounds like I'm out of time. So I need to use this one. And just to get started for the day, you can either choose to just go straight into how long can I go for, but just to fire up, and I should say, I would generally, and I'm not doing it now, so maybe I'm being not hypocritical, but just sort of not giving the full idea of what you should be doing. You should be doing the Largo Status stage every morning before you even attempt this. So I would get in there and every day, every single day, to reinforce the feeling, to recognize the power of passive lungs. All of this, all of this, all of this. Start and get the vibration sympathetically happening on the lead pipe, up and down. Then I would go onto the horn, push the valves halfway down. Then find the C, go up to the D, E, F, G, do some tonguing. Some harmonic slurs, C sharp to F sharp. Then I'd go into these descending harmonics. I'd do that stuff first and make sure I rush through. That would take 5 or 10 minutes. And make sure that's there the whole time. Feels like humming, feels like singing. And that's based on the Rafael Mendez approach. Never push the air more than you would in general. I should learn that line. I actually wrote it out once about don't push the air more than you would in general conversation. Greg, and your attention to detail. Anyway, 144. So, yeah, instead of going all the way through, I'm going to just do it beat by beat from 144 upwards, 138 backwards. I'm just going to see how long I can go for. So that's obviously really comfortable. So that's 8 beats. Now, how far have I got along with 144? 8 beats, 5 seconds, 10, 15, 20. So I'm looking to tick a box here for 25 seconds. Logic says if you can do 8 beats, you can do 16, you can do 32. So what happens? This is the whole question, the whole purpose of doing this. What happens? Where does the system go from comfortable, automatically driven from the subconscious motor skills to freaking out? We want to find that limit, and that's where we come back and practice each day. So we're not wasting time. 5 seconds. So that's completely comfortable. So I took up, there's my balloon way over there. I'll get another one. There's no squeeze of the balloon necessary. 15. So it's fine. 15's fine. Maybe we're going to tick over a new range of ability today. Who knows? it skipped around a little bit there, but it was okay. It was okay. So there's 20. I've got an air conditioner blowing this way, and it's messing with the sound a little bit, which I'm kind of not too amused about. But thankfully, up here in lovely Queensland, hello, my Victorian freezing friends, although I believe it's 20 degrees down there today, so that's good. I need an air conditioner on in here, so I finally got one, which is great. One of those Dyson round ones. Freaking amazing. Get one if you need an air conditioner. Not cheap, but really good. 25 seconds. See, the annoying thing there was I didn't take a really good breath, and I was totally on top of it for 25, and I could have kept going for 30. But I won't do that. I'll do it this time. All right, so I'm playing more loudly, and yeah, I'm not getting to 30 seconds. So I'll come back and do that tomorrow. I don't want to waste time here today. I know that I can technically get it, which is amazing because I couldn't get 25 yesterday. All right, back to 138. And two things are in my mind while I'm doing it, and it's all based on feedback from the YouTube comments. And in fact, I think today I can look at comments here. So if there's anyone, there's no one around at the moment, but that's okay. Hang on, what's going on? Leave a comment for me if you're watching live. Just so I'm pretty sure that's working fine. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So here we go. 138. So I didn't learn from the last attempt. I'm going to have to play more softly to get 30 seconds. Yeah, so doing this straight up in the morning, the muscles get a bit confused. That's okay. And someone said taxed. It's not taxed at all. I could go and do a 5-hour gig right now. It's not about that. It's just I'm pushing the boundary of what I can do. That's the whole point when we're practicing. Fatigue and injury were mentioned. There is no way you will get fatigued or injured doing this unless you are doing something dramatically inefficient. That imagine, what would you have to do to your voice to injure it or damage it? You would have to do some serious things like that. You don't want to be doing that, okay? So you will not get injured by doing this. unless you're pinching. I mean, have a listen to what I'm doing with my voice now. But I'd never do that generally. And it's the same with your chops. If you're squeezing down and pushing the heck out of it, you're going to damage yourself. But we're only going to be limited by our flexibility and alignment in the face or our breath control. You're not going to do any damage to yourself. Now that what's it, 25? Oh, hang on, 138. I got to 25 seconds. I just didn't get to 30. So I'm being tough on myself. So I'll tick that one. Now up to 152. So at these faster tempos, again, I'm going to do it beat by beat. 152. So it's 8 seconds now, 8 beats, so now 5 seconds. Watching the clock. Seconds. That's completely in control. 15 seconds. Should be fine. That's cool. Now 20. There was a little bit rough, but since I've already ticked that one, I'll go for 25. That right then is one of the moments that I want you all to discover. Is in the and I don't know, it'll be interesting to watch back when I was doing it, because I occasionally watch some of these back. And if you're new here, you're watching this on Facebook, all of week one, every single video is on the week one page, and I go into a lot of the technical stuff about how to do this. I don't want you just picking up and trying to play with disregard to process. So go back and watch those and do your week one first. However, what just happened then, and it's profound for me, and it probably doesn't translate over the thing, but what we're looking for, there is movement required to change pitch, but we want to minimize the movement. People will swear that you don't move the jaw. The jaw has to move. If I'm playing a pedal B flat on a bass trombone, right? Oh, opening up the resonance in the oral cavity, finding the shape of the aperture corners. And it's the same here. But we don't, and so this is the interval of a fourth. If you do the interval, C to G, that's an interval of a fifth. It's the biggest interval on the instrument. There has to be jaw movement, but we want to minimize it. And what I felt then, after about 5 or 10 seconds, and this has just come from doing a week and a half of it every day. I've never done it this intently, so I'm learning from it as well. It's great. Less movement. And I was just tweaking it at the aperture corners. No resistance, no grip in the middle of the lips, Just this little tweak, 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 tweak. Awesome. Awesome. And then all of a sudden, because that's doing its thing, it's in alignment, you don't have to push the air at all. Towards the end, of course, when you're running out of air, abdominal support needs to become involved. But it was just the moment for me. One of those moments that makes me realize that I'm refining the process. So when it comes to feeling what's required to play all over the horn, it reinforces aperture corners, openness, don't push the air. Something, this just came into my mind. All of a sudden, I mean, I can feel it. Oh, that's all I'm going to say to you. That's all I'm going to say. I can feel when I'm playing that backing off, opening up, the 1% rule, less work, more sound. That's blazing. And doesn't matter whether you want to play orchestral music, commercial lead music, jazz, doesn't matter the style of music, doesn't matter the instrument that you play when it comes to wind instruments. If you recognize, the biggest problem with bassoon, pinching the lips down, forcing the air, if you recognize letting go of the grip in the middle, finding what the sides need to do, finding the optimum amount of air for the note at whatever volume it is that you want to play. It's not rocket science. The voice, how do we get more resonance from the body? How do we open up? How do we get more sound from here? It's not from forcing. Getting air in and letting it go, learning what to let go of. And, these videos are going to be around forever. So it's important to just keep hammering home the point that everyone is capable of doing whatever they want to on the instrument when they know what to switch off, where they can find their triggers for an efficiency. What can I do? What can I kind of do? What can't I do? It's really logical. Everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. Radio, so 138 I did. So now 132 I need to go back to, and that's starting to challenge the breath control. So 132. Notice it's taken me a week and a half to actually go, to be smart enough to play a long tone and go, well, actually, can you play the long tone without the harmonic slur? Yeah, I can still do it. It's one attempt, 1:05, speaks volumes. So we're aiming at, I think I said 140, 132, 40 seconds. Just snuck in there. My brain was wandering, thinking about different things, and I start looking at the clock and stop listening to the metronome and start thinking about what I'm going to say next, and the brain wanders. But I still felt like I was in control there towards the end, so I'm happy to click that. The sound thing, I'm backing off when we're playing for longer. Yeah, the sound's not perfect all the way through. Maybe it will be by the end of week 5, but that's not what I'm working on. I'm working on breath control and working on the aperture corners. What I was going to say when I got my brain took off. If you're watching this at home, you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it here. I'm doing it as a demonstration. But I want you to come back each day and just tick a couple of boxes. I've ticked, 3 boxes already. I've done ample harmonic slur practice for the day, right? How much, it's the rule of diminishing returns. How much more value do you get if you did it for hours? I think I like the way that I'm doing it, doing the chart and trying to pick and just recognizing at each tempo whether I can tick the boxes. But if you're fatigued, if you're just getting natural fatigue from playing, have a rest. Just come back and aim to tick 1 or 2 boxes a day. So I am doing it, some would consider it extreme, others wouldn't. I think it's moderate. I've already been doing, with talking, for about half an hour doing harmonic slurs. Generally in a practice routine, I wouldn't do that. I'd add this to part of the basic technical development. You'll see it in the course. As someone said the other day, they're taking a month off WinWorks to pay for a month of the course. Taking a month off Netflix to improve their playing, put that money into the course. Just come and check the course out. It'll all make sense. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, but I can already feel. Sometimes it goes, nah, you've done too much, and it's not fatigue, it just stops responding, gets confused. But that's because I'm pushing to my limit, and that's the whole thing, limit finding, speed limit and time limit. Smartest way to practice. What can you do? What can you kind of do? What can't you do? I'm just going to keep saying it over and over and over and over. All right, so 160. So there's a little anomaly there at the 160 because I had an exceptional 168. So let's see what happens here. And I know already that it's way beyond what I did in the first week. And I can feel it when I'm playing my horn that it's flowing through already. It's all on offer for here for you to do. And tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. 160. And I'm hoping there's someone watching from Trumpet Herald that saw my line going, come and try it. And if your playing doesn't improve at the end of 5 weeks, I will stop posting. I've put one post up in Trumpet Herald in 2 years, but I will not put any posts on there if this doesn't work. I've got a few critics there, apparently. The earth is still flat. Right, one beat. So that feels great. So that was 10. There's 15 that I got yesterday. Cool. So there was a couple of skips here and there, but I was thinking during that, I've done 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, 8 beats, 5 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Add it all up. There's a couple of minutes just of harmonic slurs, or over a minute, pretty much back to back. So a couple of tiny little glitches going for a time thing when I'm doing so much. Again, if it was just me practicing, I wouldn't tick that box. I'd be zero tolerance for it. But I wouldn't be doing as much either. So I'm giving myself a little break. Or maybe it's just my ego going, I want to tick a box. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Anyway, who knows? 132. I think I'm back to 126 now. Yeah. So I need 145 at 126. 45, 126. Just check if there's any comments. Feel free to leave comments. No comments. Here we go, 45 seconds. I was going to try and get 50, but couldn't quite get there. So that's good. Tick a box. 126. 45. So instead of going, can I do 50, I'm going to go to a different tempo and try and get the 50. So now, 168. I keep forgetting where I'm up to. I think I did 168, didn't I? Anyway, if I didn't, doesn't matter. 176. Couldn't do it yesterday. So it's pulled behind, so we'll leave that for now. That's for tomorrow, but ticked another box. Now, up to 55 at 120. Couldn't quite get there. Couldn't quite get there. So it'll be very interesting to go down to the slower tempo. My hypothesis. There is a degree of energy being burned doing that tempo. Is there a little bit less energy because there's less changes per note on, say, the 100 versus the 120? Conserving that extra bit of energy might get us over the line. I don't know. I don't know. Just making it up. 184. I'm having fun doing this. If you're joining in, you're going to learn something from it. Process. Energizing the air in the pipe. No kick. Shape. Wah, wah, wah. So if you say, wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Watch my mouth. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Da, ya, ya. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. That was 4, 8. So that was 5. I think I've already got 5. Yeah, I haven't got 10. Almost got 15. I won't mark that. I'll mark 10. I wasn't expecting to do that. Cool. 116. I won't do 116. I'll go back and do, because I'm almost done now. Oops. Cancel. 1, 9. I got 3. Let's do it. Okay. Might as well do the whole lot. "55 seconds we're after." Excuse me. Won't click it. It was really close. So notice I'm running out of air at exactly the same spot each time. I'm hoping. I'm not hoping. I'm wondering. Oh, go away. I'm wondering that after the 5 weeks, will 60 seconds be the norm? Will it expand? Won't it expand? Just check, make sure there's no comments and refresh here. I just got to check in. Am I missing some comments? Yeah, I'm not doing this very well. I can see that. Oh no, there we go. That's okay. All good. All right. So I'm up to 192. Feel free to ask any questions. If you've got any thoughts or whatever, just type into the comment section. I'll try and find them. Again, I gave a lesson yesterday morning. It was great. Watch it on the YouTube channel. Actually, I'll put it up on the Mystery to Mastery page as well. When the demand gets faster psychologically, do we go into panic mode? Is there a fear involved in doing it faster? That's the question. Do we start going, oh, it's fast, tighten up bodies, or is it still, it's just wah, 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 wah. Take a breath in, air in the lungs, balloon, wah, 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 wah. It's no harder than that. It's no harder than it. You might not believe me, but it's true. When you find those aperture corners, it's just that. Although I've already got 5, have I? 192. Yeah, already got 5, so I need 10. So it just starts, you can feel in that second 5 seconds, it just starts to pull back and lose the pulse. That's what we're looking for. I hope people understand this. That's, in my mind, it's really logical. It's really obvious. We want to find that limit. And it doesn't matter what tempo you're doing it at. We've all got different limits. There are people that can blow for twice as long. I said the word blow. Play for twice as long as what I can, and twice as fast. Maybe not twice as fast, but it's not about that. It's an individual pursuit of where are you up to? Where are you up to? What are you capable of doing? That's what it's all about. Okay? And then just finding your limit and coming back each day and trying to improve it. Can I get 10? Not even there. And you can tell straight away. Come back again tomorrow. I've ticked a lot of boxes today. Just saying. Now up to 112. And I need 50. And again, because I'm not doing a lot of other practice, I've got some charts to learn for a gig next week. But this is great preparation anyway. I'm not doing really any articulation stuff, and I'm not doing any real routines. This is the only practice I'm doing. You don't want to just do harmonic slurs if you're developing your overall technique. So just be choosy about how much you do each day. But always aim to try and tick a box, at least one box. So after 50 seconds. And out of the blue, a minute and 2. Who would have knew? And I could tell all the way through that. The breath felt great. I'm like, gee, I reckon I'm a real chance at going a bit longer here. Just observe. Not too excited. Just an observation that with practice and repetition, things develop. Crazy. One day, people will understand. Was that 112? 50, 55, 60. There is the moment why we come back each day. I shall say no more. $192, 200. It's close, it's close, it's close, it's close. Just cannot keep it going. Really fascinating stuff. So I can get 8 beats but can't get 5 seconds. 108. For 50 seconds. It was almost 55. I just played a little bit loud there at times, but we can tick 50, so that's good. Tick another box, ticking a lot of boxes. Just saying. I'll try 208 again, 200 again. Then go back, 204, 208, 100, done. Five seconds is a long time when you're doing harmonic slurs at such a speed. Can't do it. Okay. 104. Minute and 2. So, does that confirm my hypothesis about less work, longer notes? I don't think so. I just think it's better breath, better control. I think. I don't know. At the end of the day, we're doing harmonic slurs for over a minute, which is a good thing to be able to do. When you're playing a long tone, the sound's going to diminish. There's hardly any air moving. It's a bit scratchy. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Just what are we working on? 208. Never, ever done 8 beats. Is today the day? Maybe. Maybe not. Broken some records today. Maybe it's the day. Who knows? If not, come back tomorrow. So it's really close. Just about beat 5, beat 6. It just pulls back. So just keep thinking that. I haven't done any of these today. So many things to. Thank you for still being here if you're still watching. Preparatory exercise. Experience the feeling of it. So all right, so I think I'm going to click it, and if I watch it back and I didn't get it, I'll unclick it. 2 moments today. One back around the 160 when I felt things click in. There, when I took my mind away from the process of playing and focused on the preparatory exercise of just feeling, and just focus on that. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't try and control the result. Just keep because I've proven physically to you that I'm capable of doing, and that's all that it takes physically. So what gets in the way? How does the brain get in the way? How do we stop ourselves from doing something? There's the lesson. There's the lesson there. For me, I know it up here, but putting it into practice, crikey. All right, back to 100. Any questions? No, I don't know that they pop up, and I'm reluctant to refresh pages. Anyway, any thoughts and all that sort of stuff? Feel free to email at info@mysterytomastery.com, and find someone brought up on one of the videos yesterday. Stephen, thank you. It's a great idea. Is you want to be able to see how this is flowing across into your playing, into your general playing. The other day I haven't worked on it for ages. I can't believe I'm doing it in public, especially after seeing Sergei Nakarikov play it. But just say you're working on the Carnival of Venice, that last movement. So my fingers aren't even up for it. That's another thing you can work on. See, that to me, because I'm not playing heaps and not practicing heaps, it just shows, Greg, get your fingers out. They're just not working. But how often do I have to do that stuff? That's the thing. But the fact that I can feel, my aging fingers getting involved, I need to fix them up. And it's soft up there, so there's no real body requirement. And then, of course, the low notes, it's loud. So it's actually better than what I did the other day. I can feel the fingers there. But what we're working on there, or I'm going to try something. I think. being able to find that shape and not engage the body, not be panicking about the range. It's all psychological. We know the shape. We know not to pinch down. We know that the notes will fall out in the low register. We know that it takes less air to play in the upper register. So then we've just got to keep the body calm. Maybe I'm going to get the urge to start and get this stuff down. I just got bored with all the technical stuff back in brass band days years ago. Alan on that Carnival from Venus is the most extraordinary trumpet playing, and how he double tonguing over triple octaves and stuff. Awesome, amazing, efficient, efficiency and focus. And what are we working on with the harmonic slurs? Is efficiency and focus. I hope people understand it. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm nuts. Anyway, last one. See if I can go for a minute. Even though I only need 55 seconds. I won't even insult you by putting you through any more of that. Falling apart all over the place. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So we'll come back, leave some room for tomorrow. My big one is being able to get the 5 seconds at the extreme tempos. That's when I know that I'm going to have really broken through to the next level of just cracking through another barrier. We've all got limits. Being able to isolate where our limitations are is what it's all about. Finding your speed limit, 1 beat speed limit. Finding your duration limit, time limit. Excuse me. There are a couple of anomalies here, as you can see in the chart, that I could sort of work on, but I won't do any more today. That's been heaps. Yeah. Work on that. Then go through the course. It's everything is there that you need to progress as a player. Then have a couple of pieces when you've done with Windworks, done with Greg, can't stand his voice anymore, can't do any more of his stuff. Just forget about it for the day. Then go on to your music. What repertoire are you working on? Maybe I should get Carnival of Venice or something. I just hate it. I hate it. Personally, just the technical, it's not that musical. It's a technical thing. But I need to develop, people look at it and go, wow. And maybe I need to be able to do that to get people to understand the concepts of it. Sad if it's the case, but maybe it is. We're judged by what we can do on the horn. But I can't play saxophone. I can't play bassoon. But the concepts of body resonance and release, it's all equally as important on any wind instrument. I don't like being judged by the style of music that I choose to play. Anyway, eventually the message will get through. Thank you. I'm going to stop rambling now. Hope you're having fun with the challenge. If you're new, go back, check out week 1, So mysterytomastery.com/WIHCS. All the videos are there from week 1. And I'm about to go and post this plus video day 1, 2, and today from week 2, plus the lesson that I gave yesterday morning, which you might find really interesting. I found it interesting to watch it back. It's really cool. Happy playing, everyone. I hope a few of you are on the journey. In just 3.5 weeks from now, you will have developed your playing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You'll be more aware of your inefficiencies. You'll be more aware of your triggers. You'll be more aware of your limitations. You'll be more aware of the feeling that it's supposed to be like when we're playing efficiently. And it will all just culminate in a more pleasurable playing experience, more satisfying. Thought for the day. Maybe that was the thought for the day. Thought for the day. It ties into, if you didn't see the start of this, at 7:30 this morning, I was teaching for a couple of hours someone who's got focal dystonia. And a lot of it comes from internal pressure, perfection, demand, trying to do too much enthusiasm, too much intensity, too much expectation. And the brain just goes, enough. And so if we manage our expectation, you'll see when, I'd love to get 5 seconds, but it doesn't bother me that I can't. I'd love to get, a minute every time I take a breath. I can't. I'd love to be able to do that. Just an acceptance of where we're at and then going, I'm working on it, I'll get better. Not cutting corners, not kidding ourselves, just being honest with where we're at. Being calm with it, and then accepting and enjoying those moments like today. I had a couple of them. One, that little tweak, going, less work, it's easier. Get out of our own way. Couple of breaths, went for over a minute. Wow, amazing. Couldn't do it yesterday. Last night, after eating dinner before doing it, 40 seconds was vomit time. Anyway, and I can't wait to get 5 seconds. And when it happens, it'll just be, wow, I've developed. And there is a flow-on effect into my playing. But there's no expectation to do it. There is an observation of, gee, things are developing. No expectation, no frustration. Be cool with where you're at, the person you are, where you're at with your playing. Slowly develop it. It's all philosophical, but it's real. It's true. People are frustrated with their playing. And if they're frustrated, it's just because they don't understand why they're having problems. And what I'm trying to do is clear the air and go, the reason you're having problems is because of this. Can you hum? Most people can. Can you get the sympathetic oscillation in the lead pipe? That can really trap a lot of people. Have a look, please. Go up. If you haven't seen these, up at the top of the page, please watch, read that forum and watch that video. And I'm going to start laughing. I'm going to do a study of why I laugh. It's fascinating. I don't understand. I'm learning more about the power of the brain. What? Goodbye. So tomorrow night, so it's now, is it Wednesday? Tuesday. So Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you there. Happy playing.